Hey everyone, welcome to welcome to Levremembers. It's Tuesday, and there's a lot going on. Let's give it a second. Let some more people join. Some of the breaking news that we're going to go into. There's a lot happening. First of all, hey Kat, Laurie, how are you guys? First of all, Pam Bondi today, Bridget. Uh, yeah, we're gonna talk about Greg Abbott and his bullshit. Hey, Mary, how are you? There's a lot to go with. Laurel, Zelda, Lynette, great to see all of you guys. Uh, I've been really upset the last several days because of watching what's transpiring and watching the way, I don't know how hard we have to scream, how loud we have to scream to be able to get across to some of the Democrats' leadership to go out there and look. I understand they don't have the majority. I understand they don't have certain powers that they might want to or couldn't do. But the one thing they have is a voice. And the one thing that, should be common sense is they right now is they need to unite that voice. And I'm not trying to, pound on anybody, but this is important. We need to be able to get this message across to them, and I'm trying to do everything I can behind the scenes, here live in front of you guys. I challenge them, any of them, to come out here and discuss why. But the message is not. I mean, just think about it. We have the Epstein survivors that are wanting to speak to the president of the United States. We have a shutdown that's being taken place taken. I mean, because of the Republicans, because of a planned attack to be able to implement part of Project 2025. We have Project 2025 that Trump has finally embraced. I mean, just think about when Kamala Harris, when she was running and she mentioned Project 2025, all of a sudden Donald Trump was having all kinds of memory losses. He started saying he has no idea, has never done it, never doesn't know anything about Project 2025. Remember that, folks? Well, we should be right now bringing Project 2025 and and showing the people what's written in there, what's taking place. I mean, just literally look what's happening today. I mean, yes, a few day yesterday, the night before, we had a little good news. We had a Trump-appointed judge came out and basically stopped Trump from sending in the National Guard using the U.S. Army against American citizens in Portland. And what did Trump do? He went to California. When she stopped him in California, he went to Texas. He went out in front of the whole world and said, I have plenty of folks, smash those hearts as much as you can. We need to get as many people in here. And and I know it's a lot going on. I know we got Jim Acosta going on right now, which it's another thing that I want to talk about later on, because this is one of the things, like, I spoke to Wajahid on the left hook, and, he's great. And me and him speak all the time. And I said, you know what? We need to also, even unite this message on this platform. I know Michael comes out here, I come out here, we all, Malcolm, we all come out here screaming that we should have 100,000, a million watchers and stuff like that. But you know what? There's no unity going on here. Also, there should be. I'm trying to. I don't know. I'm not trying to go against everybody, but I'm trying to unite everybody in a way where, yes, everybody has their own platform, but there should be a way where we should be able to connect our platforms, connect our voices. Somehow put it together to be able to get out and be loud. Because when they do it, when the right does it, and when I watch when they come in, and I'll give you a perfect example. Like, if you take a look, as divided as MAGA was when it came to everything that was going on with the Epstein files, as soon as something hit like Charlie Kirk's assassination, they put the Epstein files aside and they were all on the same message. Just think about if we were all on the same message. If everywhere you looked at, it was the message, the breaking news that we're talking about, it would be so strong. Instead, what you have is you go on all of these shows, you have a lot of people giving opinions, and then you have a lot of debates going on and a lot of these shows in between Democrats. And that's what it basically is, and I try to explain to them that this is not a time to discuss policies. This is not a time to go after each other. This is not a time to try to push your what you want through. This is a time to unite, to be able to talk a few things. We don't have an opportunity right now or the capacity to be able to go out there and debate them and all of these different things. We have very important things. One is the economy. Nobody's talking about the economy. Nobody, they chase Donald Trump. They're not talking about what his tariffs are doing. They're not talking about what prices. They're not talking about inflation. Nobody's talking about the economy. They're not talking about the Epstein survivors. Yes, I understand that right now we are having, they're trying to block the 218 votes. But I just want you to stop and understand something. There's two different fights. There's a fight, a legal fight, which absolutely I understand. We're waiting for Congress. And I apologize for my dogs in the background. The kids are probably coming home. There's Congress are trying to get it out and get it out to the public. But then there's also something called the media. There's something called social media. There's something called public opinion. There's something called something stronger than even any of these files being released. It's the voices of these poor young women and survivors and victims that when I saw them stand there on the Capitol Hill and say, "Mr. President," one of those ladies came out and said that I'm a conservative. I'm not even a Democrat. I voted for you. I want you to listen to us. I want you to hear that this is not a hoax. When Marjorie Taylor Greene, somebody that is so pro-Trump that I can't even tell you, comes out and says, "I called Donald Trump and asked him to have the survivors and the victims in the White House in the Oval." And if you see that he still hasn't done that, and I'm telling you that I've spoken to, not forget about even my sources telling me that he's worried. I know Donald Trump very well, and this is his, one of his biggest fears. There's a lot of things, that he's not worried about. There's a lot of things that he doesn't care about. There's a lot of things that he's prepared for. But this is one thing that he doesn't have an answer for. He cannot sit there and have these poor women sit around him telling their stories about abuse, about people that abuse them that he knows. Some of these people that are his probably donors to right now, some of these people that are, probably in his administration. And not to be able to respond and not to be able to continue calling it a hoax. That's why it's very easy for him to be able to just not meet with them and continue calling it a hoax and continue. Just think about what he said yesterday about Maxwell. When he met, I mean, it's I think even more insulting that he plays that game like, oh, I haven't heard Maxwell's name in so long. I don't know. Nobody asked me. I mean, it's a lie, folks. It's a lie. I mean, it's so lie. I mean, his attorney, Todd Blanche, is very close friends with Oscar, Marcus, what's her name's Maxwell's attorney. You saw the way it played out. You saw her get moved, and for Trump to sit there, it's one thing he wants to sit there and say, "Oh, I'm going to do it." I'm not going, but it's another thing to pretend that he doesn't even know who she is. He's known her since she's 18 years old or 19 years old when she used to work for her father going back. This is how long he knows Maxwell. He knows who Ghislaine Maxwell is. He knows who Epstein is. And he pretends, plays there, sits there in front of the whole world, letting, the media just gloat over it and say he doesn't know, he's going to have to take a look at if he's going to give her a pardon. He even mentions Puff Daddy. Just think about that. He does it to throw it in the Democrats' faces, for them to chase that right now, for them to talk about that, for them to go into it while he's in the meantime gutting. Taking Project 2025, and there's a chapter in Project, a part in it, where Russell Vought right now is implementing, and he's implementing the destruction and the firing of jobs that he tells you right ahead they're never coming back, programs that are never coming back. I mean, just think about all these things that we've worked for and achieved to be able to get to there are now never going to come back because of right now it's taking place. You know, that see like that see that's a great idea. Somebody just wrote LCG United wrote we need like Obama to host a Zoom meeting, or Kamala. I tell them all the time, guys. Absolutely. I reach out to Prisker. I reached out to what's his name, Newsom. I've reached out to all of them, and some of you are out there also reaching out on my behalf, and that's the crazy part. I'm not going to cover up for any of them also. You know what I'm saying to you? And my next, step is I'm starting to speak to people on this platform, because you know what? This is great that we have, a couple of thousand people watch me, a couple of thousand people watch Michael, a couple of thousand people. But you know what? That is not going to save our democracy. Yeah, we need to start uniting our message. We need to start becoming a force. And I'm going to start, putting people's, a lot of these people on these Substacks that have, big followings, to start joining forces to start spreading the message. Because you know what, it's sometimes it's crazy to I don't have an answer for you why, when we break news, when we have sources, and these people know what's going on, and they choose to, bring in pundits that have no idea what's going on and talk about it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Actually, Lori, I just sent a message to Heather Cock Richardson. I agree, she has a huge following. I don't know how to get a hold of her. I asked Wajahid to also reach out to her. Also, Mike Nellis. I think Mike Nellis is another gentleman I sent out a message to today. He has a big following. Listen, guys, help me out. You know who has the big followings out there. Reach out to them. I mean, it should be a no-brainer. It should be a no-brainer for them to be able, and this is what it's about. We're trying to, bring this news out onto platforms. We need to be able to get this information out, because otherwise, eventually, like Paula, great Jim Acosta. Like, I'm upset with Jim Acosta. I'll be honest with you guys. He's a great guy, does great work, but he had me on one time. We had a great show. We had over 6,000 people, more than he really usually has on, and then that's it. Never, it's like, I don't know, like Don Lemon never responds back. Certain people, for some reason, I don't know what the reasoning is. I'll be honest with you guys. I really don't know, especially some of these major reporters that were on the big shows, and now they've come up. And on Substack, they have huge followings. And for some reason, I don't know. I don't have an answer for you guys, and I don't want to see. This is the whole thing. I don't want to get. This is not about going against it, because I believe that everybody is on the same page. Everybody wants to be able to save our democracy. Everybody wants to be able to go out and do the right thing. But for some reason, I think maybe people get lost in the craziness of it. Maybe people get exactly. People I think are in the fog, like Don Lemon. I think they get into their ways and they're forgetting, and that I think we need to do a wake up call. Start rattling some cages, and start, but the only way we could do it, I can't do it myself. I need each and every one of you. I need you guys to go out there and do your thing. When you go on all of these shows, different ones that you see are, have big followings, start messaging them, start emailing them, start telling them, listen, if you're not going to go out there and put this information out that I'm, risking my life. My sources are risking their, lives to be able to get this information out. We're not going to subscribe to you. We're not going to follow you. I mean, the same way, our voices are strong and powerful, and we need to and we need to use our voices right now to unite people on Substack, to unite people on social, to unite people that are that have big followings, but that are reporters, but they don't, they need to have the content. They need to have the right information. They need to go out there and report and spread messages that will actually make a difference. The stuff that we're talking about, the stuff that you hear. I mean, very few of them are reporting on it. And when they do, what happens? It hits Trump where he can't stand it. And that's the crazy part, is like none of them really know Trump. That's why none of them know Trump, Bondi, any of these people. I lived my life with these people for 4 years. I spent more time with them than I spent with my own family. I know how they breathe. I know how they talk. I know I could sit. I could bet any single one of you. It's not even a magic trick that I could sit here and you could put the two or three of them in a room next door, and I could even tell you the type of jokes they would be telling to each other. That's how much time I spent with all of them. And it's crazy to for to not to be able to spread the message far and wide. So that's one of my call to actions, guys. I need each and every one of you to go out there, write your emails, not to congressmen or senators, because for some reason these people are in way big of a fog. Let's try to do, because we need to figure something out, because time is running out. So my next game plan is my best contact, Cindy. If you could DM me, I look at all my, especially from all my subscribers. So if you send me a message, and then we could exchange contacts on there. Excuse me. So what our next plan should be is to go out there and to reach out to all of these big platforms, not only on Substack but on YouTube. Because also I'm going to be starting a YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel right now. It's a small following. We have about 15,000 people there. I really, I only post stuff that I do here because this is my home, and then from here I repost it on there. So I don't have a huge following yet, but that's going to be our next move. That in the next couple of weeks I'm going to put together I'm trying to put together like a 2, 3, 4 hour live content that's going to include Ukraine, Trump news, world news. And so I'm going to need your help to promote the YouTube channel for all of you that are subscribed here, to jump on there, to be able to do it. And I think we could reach a lot more people through YouTube also. And I'm going to go on and do it. So that's one of the things we're working on, and I'll let you know as soon as we get that up and going. In the meantime, right now, let's go out and see each and every big account, big following, all of these news reporter, historians, anything to do with Donald Trump, Ukraine, or saving our Steve Schmidt is a really good friend. Working out with Steve Schmidt, you don't have to contact him. There's certain people I am working about. Laura, Oleg, we're trying to put for Alexander, we're trying to put GoFundMe. For some reason, they have not been approving GoFundMe's for Ukraine. I don't know if we're being targeted, if Alexander they're targeting. So we're trying to figure out what that is. We're going to do it. Aaron, I'm going to kick his butt also. He is going to mention me. The only thing with Aaron, he's my son. And he's always tried to be independent and keep his but believe me, we are in the works, and he will promote all the stuff and go out there. It's just it's a little different when it's your own family. Just keep that in mind. But Aaron will promote it, and will also is part of the whole group that I'm trying to put together. The Midas guys also, trust me when I tell you, and that's one of the things I need your help also, because Ben's a good friend of mine. Jordy, Brett, they're all great. I know them. They're like, I remember I was with them when they were starting out, before they were the Midas Touch, when they had their idea. But I think they're also, a little bit in the fog right now, because the Midas Touch should definitely be not only reporting all the stuff, but one of the things like help me, he's so busy, Ben, he won't respond to my phone calls the past couple of weeks. I don't know if he's ghosting me or something happened. Why don't you guys send him some messages and ask him, because we were supposed to do a special on with the Midas Touch, a partnership to do Voice from Ukraine in what's it called, on their YouTube channel, which they have a huge following. But for some reason, again, this is the crazy part. Again, guys, not say this is not a bad thing. I just think people are just a little bit busy and trying to do their own thing to save our democracy. But I think the priorities are a little bit the priorities are a little messed up right now. That we need to get everybody back together, because the number one priority should be right now is to get save our democracy. The number one priority should be to be able to get everybody. Patty, definitely not negative. This is not about negative. This is about trying to get everybody together and to get everybody on the same page. Because what is going on right now and what's happening, you have to understand a lot of the things that are happening is not reaching out to majority of the country, folks. You might like what I'm telling you or not, but I gotta tell you the truth. If you take a look at the polls, even CNN did a poll today that Donald Trump's likability is at 43%. I know people are going to run around and tell you this. It's at the same thing it was what in October of 2024. That's right before the elections. And the midterms are coming up. Because what I'm trying to tell you guys is all of you that love the Midas Touch, you love, Jim Acosta, love all these people and say something. And again, I'm not talking bad. I love them. I mean, Ben's my brother. These are but I'm just saying to you guys that we need to because right now everybody's all over the place. Nobody has time. No, everybody's trying to do their thing. And the problem is we're missing the boat. Donald Trump is using that because right now everybody is in an echo chamber. Because everybody, trust me when I tell you that as millions of people as my son or the Midas Touch have, they do not reach out to conservatives. They do not reach out to people on the right. They do not reach out to the right. They don't. I mean, it is. So yes, they have big followings, but these are followings of people that are on the same team. If you don't listen to me, you will regret it. I'm telling you. I was one of them. I know what is going on. You need people like like Schmidt, Stephen Schmidt. You need people like me, like Michael Cohen, like others, like Olivia Troy. You need people like Miles Taylor. You need people that have conservative values that will be heard by the other side. So we could win, because we need to win in 2026. Yes, if he goes out there, because one of the things he's trying to do is go out there and do martial law, and we know that. And if that happens, listen, it is what it is. You're not going to stop that from happening. But we can't live thinking that it's going to happen. We need to continue fighting, because otherwise, just lay it down and let's stop. And so that's what I'm saying to you guys. I want you to really, really understand. I am not This is not like a decisive message where I'm trying to come out here and say this one's bad or this one. Absolutely not. Every person that I mentioned, even if I disagree with certain things that they're doing, I truly believe that they're doing it to be able to save our democracy. They're trying to be able to go on. Is Dr. Hassan here? I don't know. I don't know if Stephen is here. If you're here, Steven, message me. If you want to come up, I'll definitely bring you up. I'd love to hear some of your points on what's going on. It would be a great, Cynthia, I'm sorry that it's not received like that, but you know what? The bottom line is, if I'm going to come out here and just sugarcoat you and say everything is lovey-dovey and great and dandy, then, that's not me. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I promise you one thing. If I, disagree, I'm gonna bring you the truth the way it is. Let me see if Dr. Isel is on. Let's see. Oh, the way. I sent him in. Oh, there he is. There you are.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, my brother. Uh,
Huh.
what a little treat.
I follow you and I love you, and
I
there's
love
not
you too.
enough hours in the day, and I've been working on a piece on Russia kidnapping Ukrainian children to
I actually
brainwash them.
I actually got that, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to be putting it out for all
I,
of you. It's an incredible piece, and I'm going to put it on my Substack because that's part of something that is dear to our heart, which is something we don't. There's so much going on that one thing that we try to talk about. I spoke about last week. Actually, I wrote about it. Is what is happening with the Ukrainian kids and the
and we got a
kidnapping.
we got a message to the young people. So Adam Mockler and other, Aaron, your son, and others is really critical because they'll
Well,
talk to their parents too.
Well, that's part of what I'm talking about here. This is one
Yeah.
of the, and you heard me, ranting a little bit. Is that
I agree with you. We have to stop talking to ourselves. We already know the danger. We have to understand how to communicate with all the people because I know that there are doubts that are happening.
there's
But
so much.
the problem, you've heard me say this before, Lev. From my point of view as a former brainwashed Mooney, is if you attack with facts and logic, it's going to make people defensive and it'll shut them down. But if you ask them questions warmly, respectfully, take your time. Don't try to do a one-two punch, but just be like, help me understand. Weren't you involved with QAnon? Didn't you want to oppose pedophiles? Wasn't that part of the involvement? Remember Michael Flynn talking about being against pedophiles? Explain to me what your thinking is now. Is it now okay to abuse young children? But you have to wait and let them think about it and get to them emotionally.
Yeah, no.
We got to get to values.
Well, and a lot of people are bringing up, like, saying, like, David Hogg or that. Guys, you have to understand, like, it's not we're not gonna get. I want to make it clear so for people to understand. When I say get to the other side, is you're not going to get MAGA to ever vote for any Democrat. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not
Hmm.
talking about to go out and spend time, money, value to go try to convince one MAGA. I'm talking about independents. I'm talking about conservatives that are not MAGA.
Right.
And sometimes there's strategically a no vote for Trump or a vote for maybe even a third party that doesn't matter is a win for the Democratic Party.
Right.
So
I
so
totally agree.
and that's my message. My message is not to go out there, and I'm not sitting here and saying we need to convince the other side, just like I'm saying in Congress. I don't go out there and say we need to go convince hardcore Trump mega loyalists to go vote on our side. They're never going to do it. I'm talking about going out there and getting there's 200 other congressmen and congresswomen that are not hardcore mega Trump supporters, that are, maybe in very, uh, close races in their races, and they want to stay quiet. They don't want to get caught up in it. And those are the ones I'm saying we need to call out. We need to put the spotlight out. We need them to go out there and maybe we'll get more of them to change. And those are the voters I'm talking about. I'm
Yeah.
talking about going out there to speak to people that right now, I'll give you a perfect example. Right now, you have, because of the Epstein debacle files that Trump has caused, because of his stances on the way Israel, Iran, the way he's been handling Ukraine and Russia, his tariffs, the economy, all of these things have brought debates and cracks, some bigger, some smaller, but cracks inside of his coalition. From Elon Musk leaving, all of this, Steve Bannon talking this, and you got Tucker Carlson you got Laura Loomer one day on again. You have all of these things happening. But none
Fisher.
of this, and this is why I want everybody to sit here and think for a second. But none of these things are transpiring into Democratic wins. None of them are making our polls go up. None of them are making their polls go down. None of that is making Donald Trump's ratings go down. Think about that.
And I'm not sure I trust the polls, to be honest, because there's so much hacking and manipulation going on, too.
I
I
definitely
mean, if
no,
there are polls that you
I,
think are legit, I'm
I,
open to it.
I definitely agree with you that I don't trust the polls because even going back to 2016, because when they said Hillary was going to win nonstop. But no, with that said, they've fine tuned them with the technology. A, but B said because the reason why I do give a little bit credence to the polls, what's happening is because one thing I realized with this election in 2024 is because I myself was caught up in the echo chambers of social media and could not believe that no, listening and seeing everything I would see and knowing everything that any American would vote for Donald Trump. I would have bet
Yeah,
anything.
wishful thinking. It's something we really have to be careful
Well,
of.
this is why I'm sounding the alarm because the same
Yep.
thing exactly is happening right now. Because in these echo chambers that we call social media, like we go, like if you go on right now, if you go on Jim Acosta, he'll have 5,000, 6,000 people. If you go on the Midas Touch, they'll have, you go on all of these echo chamber. What's it called? You have a lot of people. Just like when Bernie Sanders or AOC comes out, does some great things. You have a lot of people, but those are not these are the same people that are going to be
Right.
voting for the you're not this is not going to take it over the edge. These are the same people that when Kamala Harris or when Joe Biden were running were that's why we all thought we were going to win because it was the same group of people. It was the same excitement. The
Right.
problem is none of this is reaching out to the masses, the majority of the country. What's reaching out to the majority of the country, and this is where I'm trying to, why I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, is because this is what Trump implemented, and this was part of our game plan when it even started. It even goes back to Brad Pascal. Now Brad Pascal,
Exactly.
now Brad Pascal got
And
a deal
Susan Wiles,
and Susie Wiles, exactly.
please.
Exactly. It was all to be able to push this whole narrative of let whatever the social media bubble is, we're hitting it. We're gonna let the media chase our headlines and our headlines and our what's it called? It's like I'll give you an example.
It's
Every
information warfare. We have
we're-
to get smart and
exactly.
understand.
Exactly. It's a perfect example. Every day you have Johnson, the leader of the House, and all of these Republicans coming out using the media, the pulpit of the media. You have Trump, you have the second, what's her name, Carolyn Levitt, going out there because their media is covering it, and they're talking about all day long how they're going to be what's it called going out there and do excuse me what's oh, football cancel. My wife is picking up football cancel today. Thank you. The
So,
kids
regards
football.
to your wife. Can I
Thank you.
say a couple of things, Lev?
Yeah,
I don't want to
please.
interrupt your.
No, 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 no,
So
please,
I've
please.
I've been trained in what's known as complex systems. Complex systems, and I started learning about it in the 80s. Instead of thinking A causes B causes C linearly, it looks at things from the microcosm to the macrocosm and thinks in terms of increasing feedback loops and decreasing feedback loops. And the people who know about network complex systems understand people are social and there are influencers who have nodes and they're going to influence a certain number. And there are mathematical formulas for how to influence the most amount of people with the minimal number of nodes. And the Democrats seem to be oblivious to understanding what Putin and what the GOP has been doing really since Reagan got co-opted and put into power. I interviewed Craig Unger about William Casey doing a dirty deal with the Iranians to hold the hostages so Jimmy Carter wouldn't get reelected. That was one of my book that Craig wrote. But the point is it's been very militarily, strategically mapped out. And what we need, in my sense of things, is we need to really think each person has a sphere of people in their life, whether their background is Jewish or Christian or Muslim or whatever. And people need to be thinking about how to reach out, not just online, but in real life
Absolutely.
to people that they know. And people need to understand Mike Johnson's a dominionist. He wants to destroy the separation of church and state. There should be Christians who are educated in Jesus and the New Testament and with collars and all type should be messaging around that person to understand this is not someone who's representative of the whole country. This is a part of the cult of Trump that I wrote about in my book. And we need to really like get concentrated and strategic and
Yeah.
in this messaging. And
Yeah.
then, and lastly, I'll just say what doesn't work is trying to argue or persuade with facts or logic. You've heard me say this before. When I was a Moonie and people said, Moon's not the Messiah, you're brainwashed, I just thought, Satan, get away from me, Satan. I couldn't hear it, right? But what works is to take a position of, hey, recruit me. Tell me your journey. Help me understand how you got
Exactly.
there, and I'll
Thank you.
join you. But then you're asking questions that make them think.
Or letting people that were part of the Moonies or part of the cult of Trump that know, that been there, that could relate, that could understand, that could sit there to be able to get, that we have plenty of already, that have left the cult, that are out there, that these are weapons that we are not using. This is what I'm saying.
Precisely.
This is the game plan that should be going on right now, and that is not taking place. Instead, and that's the other thing I want to say. It's like I relate things to sports a lot, right? So the way I look at the Democrats right now, it's like an aging basketball or football team that used to have some all these stars on it, but now they're all aging, and now you got all these young players on the other side, and they can't even keep up with them. We need fresh blood. We do not. This is why I keep trying to explain to him. Stop with the AOCs. Stop with the Schumers. Stop with the Jeffries. Stop with the Bernie. Go out there and find some young people. If you're telling me that we can't go out of 360 million people, we can go find in America candidates out there that are fresh with young, new ideas that don't have the baggage of all of these other people of all these years to come out there, to be able to go out there and debate, to do you're telling me we can go find and have young people like they did with Charlie Kirk? I'll teach them. I'll tell them exactly how we did it, and we can have the same people in the colleges, in the high schools. We can have the same people going out there across the street. We could use the same AI technology that they're using. I mean, it's the same thing, but it has to be part of a team. They're one.
And I'll add one more thing. Funding.
Well, that's the number one
Where
thing.
are the people who have the wealth that they're thinking I'm going to pass it on to my children and my grandchildren, or thinking they'll have a legacy for 100 years? If they're not ponying up money so that we can get the resources to get the people together and to organize a strategy using the latest technology, understanding who are the bad people. I still am so frustrated. People like AOC, I was just listening to a video. She's not recognizing this is a Russian play. Russia recruited Donald Trump in 87. This is not a hypothetical. he came back from his first trip in Russia and took out a full page ad in the New York Times saying NATO should be disbanded. He didn't have that idea before he went to Russia. People need to understand this is global warfare on a state level, but we need the resources, and it's like, and that's where I'm critical of AOC and Bernie, because they try to make all billionaires into evil. And
Well,
it's wrong thinking, in my opinion. We need billionaires who have values, who earn their money, and who care and want to contribute
well,
and organize.
that's just one part of it. That's the whole thing. This is what I'm saying to you. Right
I know,
now,
I'm agreeing.
no, that's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you also that right now is not a time, even if you believe in that. Now is not the time to have all these separate messages. Right now, AOC, Bernie, Schumer, Jeffries, they should be right now. You know where they should all be? Right now, they should all be standing every morning on the White House lawn with the survivors of the Epstein files and in front of the cameras and saying, President Trump, please meet with the survivors in the office. This is not a hoax. I guarantee you that if they do that for 3, 4 days straight, not even 2, 3 days straight, Donald Trump is going to lose it. I guarantee he does something very stupid by like trying to have them arrested or something, which will cause this even to go more forward. But he will not meet with them. He will not be able to go out there and change the news cycle. Go out there, you have it. Go out there. They should be. You wanted something good. Each one of them should be doing. Each and every congressman and congresswoman should be right now taking Project 2025. They should be dissecting it, taking out parts out of that Project 20 and going out there and telling it to the people because
Right.
this is exactly what's taking place. And Donald Trump has accepted. These are the things, the messages. Every morning there should be a press conference with all of the unity. Get every single congressman and congresswoman, every single senator out there, and every morning in front of the people, get up there in front of the television, say we want to open up the government. We did not. I mean, these are simple little things. These are not. This is not complicated. This doesn't take a lot of money. This takes organization. This takes unity. This
Right.
takes that. This takes, and this is what we don't have. This is why Donald Trump could do whatever the hell he's doing. And as bad as it looks, as crazy as we are, and we are, it's looking at it, but the whole world doesn't see it like that. The whole world, most of the people sitting around are watching TV, and for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, they're working all day. They're trying to feed their family. They're out there trying to take their kids to the park. They're not sitting there on social media all day long listening to me or you or Michael or my son or anybody trying to get to know. They come out, they get the media. And you know what? What all of the breaking news, it doesn't matter where, CNN or it's what Donald Trump wants them to be. Like for instance, Donald Trump did a 180 on Russia. Donald Trump is hard on Russia right now. Think about how many people saw that.
Bullshit.
Exactly, but how? But just think about the brainwashing. How many people saw that, and it was everywhere from CNN. It was on every conservative. It was on every liberal. It was on every station. Except for on our Substack, because on our Substack we were talking about that it's bullshit for the second it came out that it's wrong. And we were right, but we're not, it's not about gloating right now. It's about giving you an example about how many people got brainwashed that saw that. And if you ask right now, I guarantee you a lot of people, most people, I bet you, if in the United States, if you go up and ask them in the street, and I would love to do that just if I had the money right now to do it, just to prove a point, that will say to you that Donald Trump is now tough on Russia.
Yeah, no, I totally. You know what helped me, Lev? Reading Peter Pomerantsev book about propaganda under Putin. where he talked about how the media is so manipulated. There's an illusion of an opposition just to to create a feeling in the Russian people that there is some type of process of democracy when there isn't. And we really need to understand a lot of the messaging that Donald Trump is doing about all the crime in Portland or in Chicago. It's for China and Russia to tell the people there, don't think that America's the dream and the hope anymore. It's really bad over there, to make them happier, because there's a lot of unhappy Chinese and Russians who don't like being in an authoritarian mind control cult.
Yeah, I mean, listen, in 2024, they ran on immigration. They lied about immigration. They lied about the tens of millions of asylum
The
people
dogs and
waiting.
cats.
Then they lied about people eating dogs and cats. Now, 2026. Just think about. I just think about that for a second. Let's go back just before we move on. The the president of the United States, the vice president of the United States, the whole administration set out, and there's video of them all coming out saying that people in Ohio ate dogs and cats, and they still just think about it, and they still won the presidency.
So, what I want to say
Just
is
think
that
about
a
that.
lot of the manipulation, psychological warfare, is about emotional manipulation. It's not appealing to people's logic. And a lot of it is about diverting people's attention to where they want it to go. And the media is so stupid, or they're being controlled by Opus Dei or the Mormons or whoever, Russia, that they amplify the disinformation. And I just it's so important. I believe the future is only by psychoeducation, and I want to underscore what you said a moment ago: the need for former members like yourself to normalize that it's okay to leave. There's life after involvement. Yep, I believed it. Anthony Scaramucci is saying, yep, I made a mistake. I believed that, as a Republican, that it was going to be okay, etc. We need to educate people about how the mind works, how AI and all these billionaires are using our data to manipulate us, and people need to really reach out in real life to people they know with a message that can then be amplified. Because and this think about how many people aren't registered to vote, that didn't vote in 2024.
And that's the whole problem. Just think about it. I want everybody just to think, just like what we're talking about here for a second, and think about it. As much as if I don't care if you love Bernie, AOC, or Schumer, or Hakeem Jeffries, or any one of them, Adam Schiff, and I'll go on and on, right? You guys love them because they're fighters. They fight for the Democrat, they talk. But just think to yourself for a second. Do you think any one of these people, including Governor Pritzker, including Governor Newsom, do you think any one of these people would have would be able to fill a coffee shop with 10 people of Republicans or independents? I'm not talking about MAGA. I'm talking about Republicans and MAGA on the other side. Never. Just like think about if all
I
of a
don't
sudden.
know, but I trust you, but I don't know.
Well, I'll give you okay. So I'll give you the flip side. How many Democrats do you think are going to go to sit down to listen to Don Jr. or to Governor Abbott or Governor DeSantis and pay and go sit there and
Good point.
to read? It's the same thing.
Mhm.
These are hardcore on one side. So that is why Mega, what we did and what they had back then, that's what I'm trying to, you use surrogates.
Mm,
surrogates of people that used to be Democrats that don't come over, are not hardcore one way or the other. They will call out both sides and they have credibility.
mhm,
And when they have that credibility, then they're able to start now spreading the message.
mm.
See, and this is what the Democrats don't have. The Republicans, they have so many of them all over social media, I can't even tell you.
Well, they're organized and they give them sheets, I hear, every day
Yeah,
of what are the
yeah,
talking points for
of
the
course,
day. I'm
of
not
course.
aware the Democrats do that. Do
Well,
they?
well, 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 well before, but see, listen, before you even go to the talking points, the first thing they do is they boost each other's followings. So they make sure that each one of them have millions of followers.
Mm,
So this way when they need to get the message out, it's multiplied by what's it called. They don't see, this is the difference between the Democrats party and the Republican is when it comes to pushing out the message and doing stuff like that, the Republicans, the MAGA Republicans don't think about money. They think about the results. They want to get the results done. When you talk about doing something on this side, it always comes down to somehow trying to limit anybody from making any money and trying to I don't even know what the but it's never about getting the result done. And then when the result doesn't happen, it's a blame game. But usually the money gets still spent somewhere crazy because the money still gets spent. That's the crazy part. I mean, just think about all the billions of dollars the Democratic Party is raising right now. Where is it going? Where are they spending it? Where are any ads talking about how Trump, where I mean, where's anything about there should be an ad every day about how the Republicans shut down the government, how the big ugly bill is destroying Medicare, Medicaid,
right,
how they're proud. There should be an ad right now that Trump is embracing Project 2025 and that he's now going to be cutting all these jobs.
right,
There's none of that. Nothing's happening.
right,
It's sickening. This is what I'm saying to you. It's they're responding to sombreros and talking about. So what I'm saying to you is the people need to. That's why each and every one of you, I'm asking you out there, and for you to understand that this is not. I'm not here to criticize people. I'm not here to divide people. I want to make it very clear. Sometimes the truth is not pleasant. Sometimes the truth, it has to be the way it is for you to understand what really is happening for us to know how to fix it. It's like when you go to the doctor, you don't, and there's something wrong with you. You don't want the doctor to lie to you and say there's nothing
right,
wrong with you. You want, as bad as it is, you want the doctor to tell you what is wrong with you. So this way you can figure out the cure as bad as good, but to have a solution how to go forward.
right. Exactly.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm not comparing myself to a doctor. I'm not comparing myself to some genius. I'm comparing myself to somebody that was part of the makeup of MAGA. I was part of
Sure,
the structure of it. I know how they breathe. I know
sure.
how they think. I know the end game. I know what they want to do. And this is what all I'm trying to do is pass the message on to be able to get it out so we could use the tools that I know to be able to save our demand. Because the one thing I learned is doing this, just speaking on social media, is what we did in 2024.
Right,
And we see what the results were. We need to go out there and reach out to 300 and something million people, not
right,
just the people that are committed here. But the
right.
people that are committed here, you are our extension because we ourselves, by ourselves, neither me or Dr. Hassan could go out there and do it on our own.
It's
That's why
still
we
Hassan, buddy.
Hassan. Like, yeah, I'm so sorry, brother Hassan. I
So,
apologize.
so I'm gonna do a shameless plug
Go ahead. Go ahead.
because you were using the doctor metaphor and diagnosing and getting the facts. You need to have a correct diagnosis in order to have a cure. And unless people understand what brainwashing and mind control is and is able to articulate it in a meaningful way, we're lost because the MAGA people think we're brainwashed, right? But unless people can explain, I have this bite model of authoritarian control, behavior, information, thought, and emotional control. Go to freedomofmind.com or read The Cult of Trump and understand this is how traffickers recruit and indoctrinate their victims, or how Chinese communist brainwashing works. And what we're being subjected to is through our phones a version of this. So educate yourself and understand the right diagnosis. This is psychological warfare, and it's not politics as usual. And we have to be able to message in a way that's understandable. And I keep saying, former members like yourself, Lev, explaining the techniques that were used, right? Of how you got into this mental set where you weren't in touch with your conscience, where you weren't thinking about things. You were following blindly. That's what I was in the Moonies. So thanks for letting me rant.
No, thanks for coming. Thanks so much for coming in. It's so important because people really need to understand. And if you haven't followed, make sure you go follow. Hit that button up there. That was that gray button, and make sure you follow Dr. Hassan. Did I pronounce it
Hassan,
properly?
you did it.
Yeah, I did
Yay.
it. I'm so sorry. I'll get it.
It's okay.
Subscribe to Dr. Hassan and subscribe. Make sure to go out there, spread the news, because the number one thing we're trying to do, folks, is right now is to be able to build a community, to build a voice strong enough to be able to fight the disinformation. And that's just one part of it. The other part of it is executing a plan of going out there to be able to speak to the other side. There's
Yeah.
so many people out there. We cannot be in our own little echo chamber. We can't get upset when you don't like what you hear, because the truth sometimes is not always, sweet. Sometimes it's sour, and sometimes you have to take it. But if we sugarcoat everything, you'll never get to the truth. You live in a fantasy world until one day you wake up and it'll be too late. Anyway, thank you for
Finding
coming in.
common ground. I'm going to go. Thanks so
Thanks for
much.
thanks for
We'll be
coming
in
in. That's a
touch
good,
again.
absolutely. And
Thanks for
I'm going to
having me.
speak to your assistant, figure out how to put up that letter, because I think that's extremely important. Dr. Hassan wrote a letter about kids being kidnapped. Russian is kidnapping Ukrainian kids, something that is dear to our hearts, to our community, that we're also, because just
What
think about
Hitler did to the
it.
youth of
Exactly.
Germany.
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I wrote about, is like, this is a playbook to program young people. And they were the ones who fought to the end for Hitler because they were
yeah,
brainwashed from childhood.
yeah,
But there is hope. They can be, recovered, but we need to understand what's being done. It is a
yeah.
war crime. Thank you, Lev.
Thank
Stay
you. Thank you
safe,
very
my
much.
brother.
You too, my
Bye.
brother. I'll talk to you later. Take care.
Okay. Bye.
Hey guys, that was an incredible treat. That's why Substack is, no matter what, Substack is still our home, always will be our home. Hopefully, Trump doesn't take that away from us, and hopefully, his administration doesn't shut it down, because it is a place that we really, for me especially, not being, this crazy social media guy and having this be my first platform where my son brought me to, and having you as my family, it is really important to me. So let me end off with this, because there's a lot of things happening, breaking news today that we're still looking into. I mean, I didn't even get into Donald Trump, as I'm hearing from some of my sources. Literally, he is going to defy the courts, even though some of the brave judges are standing up to him. He's making plans with other red state governors to call up the National Guard and to be able to use the National Guard, to be able to use the army into certain places. And the next one I hear is Portland. Now, the crazy part is also is just for those of you that might not even are saying to yourself, that live in Portland or see some of this and say, "Hey, I can't even believe that there's no riots happening here." That is why they're even sending in agitators. What I'm hearing from my sources in Portland, there's going to be MAGA agitators setting up booths, going literally across the street from some of the protesters now. You already had one, which was Nick Sorter, somebody that I've debated and know on these social media sites. Somebody's a hardcore mega agitator, considers himself a right wing journalist. He already went out there, got himself arrested, and now they're coming back on a day to day basis. And Trump has literally called him personally. Pam Bondi has met with them and is now sent in and opened up an investigation. Uh, I can't even what's it called, explain to you the craziness that they're planning, and that's why now more than ever we need to be as loud as possible. So I'm going to end you off on this game plan, and let's go to work. So first of all, for those of you that joined in late, I'm going to resending it out in like a half hour, an hour. Make sure you watch the whole thing. Make sure you spread this message far and wide. This is a very important message. It's a message of unity. It's a message, a strategic plan of what we need to do to be able to go out there and really make a difference, really make sure that we fight Trump's misinformation, disinformation, and be able to, if we have the opportunity to vote and have any vote count, to be able to win it. Because right now, the information is not hitting the main media. Dan Bongino, I told you, he's in hiding. That's another thing. See, if I would have the platform if they would give me the opportunity, the financing, and the platform to go out there and fight Donald Trump, believe me, you would see I would be on the White House steps every single day talking about Dan Bongino. I'd be out there every day talking about the survivors and the victims. I would be out there I out there knowing I know where to hit him. I know it, but I need protection. I need financial protection. I need security. It's I can't just go out there and do it by myself. And I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to go out there and risk a lot, because just by having that protection doesn't mean that they're not going to be able to do something bad. But I'm willing to do it because this is a fight for our democracy. But again, this is where you guys come in, and this is where I'm going to ask you today to do a little call of action. First of all, I need you to go out there and spread this message far and wide. I also need you to go out there and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Levremembers on YouTube, or Lev Parnas. I'm not even sure. I think it's Levremembers on YouTube. Lev Parnas, you'll find it on YouTube. We need to start building that platform as big as possible. Also, because I'm going to be doing double shifts between Substack and YouTube to be able to spread the message as far as wide. So the other thing I'm going to need you to do is, when you're out there, you're subscribed to a lot of these platforms. It doesn't matter. Whoever you're subscribed to, I need you to respond to them. I need you to write emails to them. The bigger accounts, especially. I did. Me and Adam Kissinger did one, and I'm going to reach out to Adam again, see if we could do another one. But definitely, anybody you think that I didn't even mention, go out there, start email them, telling them. You could send them some of my news stories. You could tell them that they could reach out to me directly. You could connect me. The objective here is to unify, to do bigger platforms where we're not just doing one-on-one, we're doing 3, 4 together, where we're maybe doing or meeting up. Like, for instance, one of the things that I'm trying to do, and it's very difficult because everybody's in their own world, is like on No Kings 2.0, this coming October 18th. We should have places where we go out there and really join, not me by myself in Florida, or Malcolm somewhere in Philadelphia, or somebody in Washington, D.C. We need to get together and do a powerful march. If, excuse me, it's either in Washington, D.C., or Philadelphia or New York, wherever we decide to be able to get the most media attention, to get the most attention, to be able to make sure our voices are heard. We have to really, when we have those opportunities, we really have to take advantage of them. But it takes a lot more than just coordination on putting these together. It also takes coordination getting the message out, and that is one of the biggest problems. We, for some reason, the Democrats can't get coordinated to get the right message out. Even today, for example, watching the hearings, the way they were grilling, what's her name, Pam Bondi, she came in there prepared. You could like her, you could hate her, but she came in there prepared. She came in there attacking with every question. First of all, it was disgusting, disgraceful that they allowed her to be able to attack each and every senator like that. But that's what they would ask her a question, and instead of answering the question, she would attack them and make him look guilty out there like they were doing something wrong. That is what a perfect example of what I'm trying to say to you. The Democrats are constantly putting themselves into that position. Just like they asked to go to meet up with Trump, and then he turned around and told them that he's not going to meet with them. Just like then they went to meet with Trump, and when he met with them, he put 2028 hats in front of Schumer and Jeffries. Just like as soon as they walked out, he put memes of sombrero hats at the. I mean, and they continuously still say, we want to speak to him, we want to do it. God bless you, Patty. Thank you so much. They could continue talking about, but I'm going to tell you this. It's not going to work. What I'm telling you, we're going to put together. One way or another, we're going to figure it out. We're going to find those right donors out there. They're going to come out. So I know, and that's why we need to keep going out there, because I know there's somebody out there. I know somebody out there that's listening out there that might have the financial capability to go out there and say, you know what, I'm going to be able to go do whatever I can to save our democracy, and reach out and DM me and help out, because I have the plan. I know what we need to do, and we're willing to do it. We have the players. We have what's it called? It takes a little leadership, which I'm willing to do, and it takes finances, and that's the one thing that we're trying to put together and figure out with people behind the scenes, and I'm working on it. But for today, I'm going to leave you off with this. Go out there, we and understand that we're not giving up. We're only getting started, and we are going to put up a fight like he's never seen before. We have some aces up our sleeves also, and we have things that we haven't reached into our bag of tricks yet either. And we'll be able to hopefully we'll have the time and be able to put it together in time. So with that said, please, if you are a subscriber, thank you. God bless you. Make sure you go spread the message far and wide. Make sure you go try to bring 3, 4 more people. If you can become a paid subscriber, it means a lot. If you can't contribute, please contribute directly to either my Venmo, which is at Lev-Parnas, my PayPal, it's at Lev Parnas, and Central Casting, Kevin. That's how he talks about our guard and everything. You heard that, right? He talks about it. It's incredible the things that comes out of his mouth. Or Zell, which is the real Left Parnas at gmail.com. I also encourage every single one of you to make sure to go out and to go Levremembers.com, pick up your copy of Shadow Diplomacy. It's been on back order. We're getting new shipments coming in the next 10 days. So go out and make sure you place your order now so you can receive yours by the end of the month. For those of you that are waiting for it, that have placed your orders, you will be getting them shortly as soon as the first batch come in. Also, lots of great ways to support our platform, support Ukraine, and support our movement by purchasing. We have t-shirts, we have mugs. One of the new t-shirts we're putting out in the next couple of days is going to be No Kings 2.0 with Levremembers, because I'm trying to put together something big for that day, because I think this is a day that we really need to do whatever we can to let our voices be heard and really, stick it to him and take it to a next level. So with that said, God bless each and every one of you. God bless America. Slava Ukraini. And thank you, each and every one of you, for your support, standing with me. I promise you that as long as you're with me, we will do this. And I promise you, I will continue to speak truth to power. So thank you. Have a great day.